Are you in a situation where your ex suffers from depression and you are wondering if they will ever come back to you? First and foremost, I completely empathize with you when it comes to this. I understand how difficult this can be. It is not an easy thing to navigate, particularly if you feel like you are trying to help and you are trying to get your ex to a better place mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. It can weigh heavy. And if you are watching this video, it is probably because the relationship ended due to some level of depression or anxiety that affected the relationship overall. And now you are wondering if that depression will contribute to your ex being able to come back or not. If you guys don't know who I am, by the way, my name is Danny and I'm your life and relationship coach. I'm one of the head coaches here at With My Ex Again. And I wanted to make this video because even though it is a difficult subject and even though it is very specific to certain people's circumstance, it is still incredibly important. There are so many more people that are suffering with depression and anxiety. There are so many more people that are finding it difficult to be able to really find themselves in a world that's moving so quickly all the time. And there's instant gratification and there's crazy progression and improvements in technology, and we're becoming a little bit more isolated and a little bit more introverted and independent. So as things start to progress in this way, it is very important to broach upon the subject of depression and anxiety. Now, I want to be 100% clear. I am not a certified therapist. I'm not a licensed counselor. I cannot walk people through the process of getting out of depression and anxiety. But what I can do is provide you with some insight, provide you with some recommendations in regards to managing or navigating a relationship with somebody who does have depression or anxiety. And as I mentioned early on, the question in this video is, will they come back to me if I am depressed? Well, or if they are depressed. First and foremost, you have to focus on yourself. You have to do the work on yourself as well. If you were in the relationship for an extended period of time, it can be very difficult to navigate or manage a relationship with somebody who has depression and anxiety, right? Because oftentimes it's something that they can't even control themselves. Oftentimes it is something that they don't even recognize or realize they have until it's the ninth hour. And because of this, it can cause a lot of conflict in the relationship. And it's difficult to manage or navigate emotionally because you want to be able to put some kind of accountability on your partner. But how do you do that when this isn't something that they chose? This isn't something that they decided to have. The accountability portion can be on what they do in order to try to improve themselves and try to help themselves. But beyond that, it's difficult to be able to really kind of point the finger or put any kind of blame so you feel like there's some sense of understanding or closure as to why things happened the way that they did. That being said, it does take an emotional toll on you as the partner of somebody who is suffering from depression and anxiety, and you have to come up with systems and structures to be able to protect yourself, to be able to have some kind of outlet, to be able to release that pressure and that stress. And it's not that, they are doing it to you intentionally. It's not that they are trying to make you feel bad. It's not that they're trying to put all this pressure on you. It just happens because of what they are going through. And you have to be conscious enough. You have to be aware enough to be able to say, okay, I need to take a step back. I need to create a support system for myself. I need to be able to vent and to express myself in a healthy way in order for me to navigate this, right? So if you are now in the breakup stage, which is what my assumption is if you are watching this video and you are wondering if they're going to come back to you, that should not be your focus at the moment. Your focus should be on recovering, on repairing, on processing any kind of heavy emotional burden that you may have felt during the relationship in order for you to be able to refortify yourself and to refill your gas tank, in essence, right? Your emotional gas tank. So if that opportunity does present itself, you are ready. And look, hopefully, if the opportunity does present itself, they have done the work on themselves. They have managed to work through the root and find out why they are depressed or why they are suffering from anxiety. But until then, you cannot control that, right? You are not in charge of their journey. Their journey is their own. And right now, the focus is your own personal journey and what you are doing during this period of time to try to, again, seek fulfillment and to repair from any kind of, emotional damage that you may have experienced throughout the relationship. The second part of that is I always caution people in relationships with people who suffer from depression and anxiety to not try and be their savior. I know that you want to help them. I know that you want to be there for them. I know that you want to support them, and it's because you're a good person. It's because you love them. It's because you want the best for them. But if you try to invest too much energy into it, if you try to take on their healing, it will end in you feeling like you didn't do enough, or there isn't anything that you can do at this point to be able to help them, and it's in their hands, and you start to get resentful and angry and frustrated and all of those types of things. And if you are in that situation, it's very possible that you've created almost a codependent relationship with this individual because they seek you for support. They seek you for guidance, for leadership, for knowledge, for all these types of things because they are struggling themselves and don't necessarily know how to navigate depression and anxiety themselves. And inadvertently, you fall into this savior role. So I highly recommend and I invite you to take a step back and ask yourself the question, am I trying to save them? Was I trying to save them? And if you are, and if you were, create that space or continue in that in the period that you're in right now that has created some space between you and your ex, because being somebody's savior is not your responsibility, right? Your responsibility is to maintain your sense of self-identity, to maintain a level of joy and a level of motivation and drive for yourself so that you can bring that to the table. And the same thing for your ex, keeping themselves motivated and disciplined and working on themselves and growing as an individual so they can also bring that to the table as well. So the relationship itself is equal. And the last part of this, which I already mentioned, is understanding that this is not your journey, right? So you're wondering if they're going to come back to you. It is possible, but they have to go through their journey. They have to work on themselves. They have to get to a place where they're able to manage their depression and their anxiety enough that if they were to come back to the relationship, they are bringing something to the table. And it's not that they didn't bring anything to the table before, right? I'm not saying that at all. Just because somebody suffers from depression and anxiety doesn't mean that they don't have traits or characteristics or aspects about themselves that bring joy to the relationship. Of course, but it's inconsistent. And what we look for in a relationship is consistency, stability, a strong foundation, right? So don't focus so much on wondering if they are going to come back. Focus on yourself, your journey, fulfilling your needs, doing what you have to do, and understand that they are on their journey as well. And things may line up for the two of you that you guys are able to come back together and formulate something new and something amazing. But for the time being, like I said, the focus should be you. If you like this video, please make sure you hit the like and subscribe button down below. If you have any comments, if you feel like you've been in this situation before, if you are an individual who does suffer from depression and anxiety and you've been in a relationship and you feel like you can add any value to the video, I would love to hear from you. I would love for you to put your comments down below for other people to read. I try to read as many of the comments. I try to respond to as many of the comments as possible as possible. Maybe you just want to know a little bit more, right? You want some more details. You can visit us at www.withmyexagain.com, where we have a multitude of different videos and articles and blogs related to this subject and many other subjects as well. If you feel like you need a one-on-one coaching session, right? If you feel like your situation is very specific and you need a curated or a tailored plan, I would be more than happy to support you through that. You can either book with myself or any of the other amazing coaches that we have on the team, and you can do that via the website. Again, my name is Danny. I'm your life and relationship coach. I hope you're staying happy and healthy, and I'll see you soon.